The drama surrounding Sophie Cunningham has taken an unexpected, thrilling turn. A story that began with a podcast comment and spiraled into a viral spectacle that now defines her as one of the most talked about figures in the WNBA. It all started as an ordinary week. A Good Morning America appearance, a few social media highlights, and a steady buzz from her loyal fan base. But when Adidas dropped its latest commercial for their new basketball shoe line, Sophie Cunningham wasn't just a featured athlete, she was the centerpiece. Dressed head to toe in a radiant electric pink, she didn't blend into the brand. She became the brand. What should have been a lighthearted campaign promoting a fresh sneaker line instantly transformed into one of the most polarizing moments in women's basketball. That opens like any other. Dynamic shots of athletes, flashes of sneakers, the rhythmic hum of basketballs hitting hardwood. But then Sophie appears, her energy commanding every frame. There's confidence, playfulness, and defiance all wrapped into one. She smirks, glances at the camera, and delivers the now infamous line, "I'm busy." That's all it took. The internet detonated. Within hours, clips of the commercial spread across TikTok and X, dissected and debated in endless comment threads. To some, Sophie's performance screamed empowerment, a declaration of independence in a league long dominated by group-centric branding. To others, it felt like a pointed message, a subtle dig at her own team, the Indiana Fever, or even at her superstar teammate, Caitlin Clark. But the truth, as always, lies somewhere in between. Adidas knew exactly what it was doing. Sophie Cunningham has become a phenomenon, an athlete who embodies the modern sports brand, polarizing, confident, and unapologetically herself. The timing of the ad's release wasn't coincidental either. Just days earlier, Sophie had ignited headlines with podcast comments about her next contract. She mentioned wanting a bigger deal and casually dropped the names of other cities, New York and Minneapolis, as potential homes. That one offhand comment was enough to send Fever fans spiraling. Would she stay? Would she leave? Was this Adidas commercial a subtle message to Indiana's front office that she was bigger than the jersey she wore? Behind the glossy frames of that electric pink campaign was something deeper, a power shift. Sophie Cunningham was no longer just a supporting player. She had turned herself into a brand, one capable of generating headlines, sponsorships, and controversy, all without playing a single minute. For Adidas, this was gold. They weren't just selling sneakers, they were selling Sophie Cunningham's audacity. They saw her social media metrics climbing, her TikTok engagement surging, her name trending every time she stepped on the court or in front of a camera. They saw a marketing machine that the WNBA hadn't quite learned how to handle yet, a player who could drive conversation in a way few others could. And for Sophie, this was a calculated masterstroke. She turned the lemons of media scrutiny into marketing lemonade. The Arby's deal, the ring sponsorship, the Adidas campaign. Each move has elevated her profile and expanded her business reach. What's more, she's leaning into every bit of attention. Her MAGA Barbie nickname, once meant to mock her, became a meme she embraced, transforming it into a symbol of her defiance. Critics tried to box her in, and she made the box part of her brand. That's rare in professional sports, especially in a league where players are often urged to stay humble and let the game speak for itself. Sophie isn't waiting for permission to shine. She's creating her own light. But back in Indiana, the situation is far more complicated. The Fever's front office finds itself caught in a dilemma. On one hand, Sophie's fame brings national exposure, fan engagement, and new sponsorship dollars to a team that hasn't been this relevant in years. On the other hand, her growing independence risks overshadowing the franchise's collective message. Insiders say management didn't anticipate how quickly her stardom would explode, especially alongside Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom whose arrival already transformed the Fever into must-watch television. Now, Indiana's biggest challenge isn't finding wins on the court. It's balancing egos off it. Financially, the timing couldn't be trickier. The WNBA's salary cap remains tight, and the Fever are already planning for massive future deals for both Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Offering Sophie Cunningham a sizable contract could squeeze the budget, but underpaying her could alienate one of the team's most charismatic and marketable players. It's a delicate dance, one that fans are watching closely. Social media has already launched campaigns under hashtags like #ForgiPaySophie and #KeepCunningham, demanding the Fever reward her impact both on and off the court. The franchise's silence only amplifies speculation. Meanwhile, Sophie seems perfectly calm in the storm. She knows the leverage she holds. The Adidas commercial wasn't just about sneakers. It was a visual reminder that she doesn't need to depend on anyone else's narrative. She's in control now. The Fever can offer her a deal, but if they hesitate, there are plenty of franchises and brands that would gladly roll out the red carpet. She's proven that controversy can be profitable, that confidence can sell, and that fame, when harnessed correctly, becomes power. Still, fame comes at a price. Inside the Fever locker room, her rapid ascent has reportedly created unease. Some teammates see her success as motivation. Others see it as distraction. Her bold presence, her off-court partnerships, and her ever-growing fan base have shifted team dynamics. The Adidas ad, which featured only Sophie without a single teammate, drew quiet tension. To a few, it looked like a declaration of individuality in a sport built on collective effort. The message seemed clear. Sophie Cunningham was done playing small. She was now the headline, and hovering above all this is Caitlin Clark. Together, Clark and Cunningham form one of the most compelling duos in sports marketing, two opposites who, when combined, electrify audiences. Caitlin is the disciplined phenom, the face of pure basketball excellence. Sophie is the rebel, the provocateur, the entertainer who thrives in chaos. Together, they embody the two faces of modern women's basketball, the sport and the spectacle. Adidas and Nike have noticed. ESPN and sports media have noticed. The WNBA, perhaps reluctantly, has noticed. Their coexistence may define the Fever's future, but their rivalry, subtle as it may be, could define the league's next era. Sophie's rise also signals a larger cultural transformation. For decades, WNBA players were expected to blend in, to let their achievements speak quietly. Sophie has flipped that expectation on its head. She's proof that individuality, personality, and even controversy can be as valuable as stats and trophies. Brands no longer chase only the most skilled, they chase the most magnetic. Sophie Cunningham has become magnetic. Her Adidas deal, her media presence, and her relentless confidence have made her a model for how modern athletes can build empires beyond the scoreboard. Now, as the dust settles from the Adidas campaign, the Fever's next move looms large. If they re-sign her, they cement themselves as a franchise that embraces boldness and charisma. If they let her go, they risk watching her glow, that electric pink glow, light up another city. Either way, Sophie Cunningham has already changed the game. She's shown that power in sports isn't just earned on the court. It's negotiated in boardrooms, built on screens, and captured in moments like that viral commercial. She didn't wait for validation where she claimed it. And whether she stays in Indiana or takes her talents elsewhere, one truth stands firm. Sophie Cunningham has arrived, and the WNBA will never look the same again. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Sophie Cunningham's meteoric rise, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more dramatic stories from the world of basketball, and share your thoughts below.
Do you think Sophie is reshaping what it means to be a star athlete? Or is she walking a dangerous line between team loyalty and personal fame?
Drop your take in the comments and we'll be reading everyone.